Do you remember seeing Agent Orange being sprayed?
I did. Well, no, I take it back. I remember busting jungle right after it had been sprayed. It was dripping, okay? And it's harmless, and they would take some and do it like this with their fingers. And, it's nothing. It's a herbicide. It's not a, it won't kill bugs. It won't kill you. But yes, I do remember busting jungle, which of course was, 8 feet high, and it splashing back on us. But no, and I remember seeing them spraying it in the distance, but not like right over us or right near where we were.
But you would get wet from the Agent Orange dropping down onto you?
Yes.
And how often was the Agent Orange cleaned out of the tank? Did you make any effort to wipe it down after that?
Well, the tank was pretty tight, okay, from the top. You had the cupola where the tank commander sat, and he had a big seat there, and his legs actually stuck up under the edge of the turret. And the loader, which I was at multiple times, stood up in the loader's hatch beside the tank commander, and pretty much, it would land on the loader and it would land on the tank commander, but it wouldn't infiltrate down into the inside of the tank. Now the driver, he was way up under. He rarely got wet, and then the gunner had no exposure whatever. So the answer is it wasn't like something that ended up, and by the way, it's not orange. It's just called that. But it's I don't think we ever had to decontaminate. In fact, back then, it wasn't until after the Vietnam War that they discovered the link between Agent Orange and a lot of the ailments that the veterans had. So back then, it wasn't even considered a danger. They could spray you directly on you, but now it's for foliage. It's not for trying to kill people, or trying to harm people.
Right. Did you coordinate with the people spraying Agent Orange?
No, we had nothing to do with it. That was an air. That was an air mission. That was something that the helicopters and the planes did. Usually helicopters were spraying it because they'd get down at treetop and make sure that it got wafted into the down further into the trees. But no, we had nothing to do with that. We could see it, and we'd hear about it, and we'd see it, the day that they did it, and then we'd see it a month after they did it. It was devastating. It would clear the jungle. But it was.
You would, in these instances where you got wet from the Agent Orange, was it just coincidence that you were going into the same area that had been sprayed?
We were going into an area that had been sprayed maybe an hour or two before. And it was still in the leaves and all that. And of course, we've got that antenna that goes up 20 feet or so. And it's whipping against all that brush and everything. And it's, and if it's been raining, it's great because you get a little bit of water on you. But if it's Agent Orange, we didn't. Now, I do remember them spraying DDT on us directly. We were in an area, and my God, the mosquitoes were just horrific. They were beyond. And we were all taking our malaria pills, so we had not a big risk of malaria. But man, they would just cover you. And a lot of us, at a lot of times, didn't wear a shirt. And so they would get under our flak jacket and under our helmet, and they would just eat you up. And so I do remember them spraying DDT on us. But back then, again, this is a herbicide. It's not for killing people. And back to Agent Orange, it was not just an herbicide. It was a broadleaf herbicide. Okay, so you couldn't go and kill grass with it. Agent Orange wouldn't kill grass, to the best of my knowledge. There's a different herbicide for that. There's for grass that kills grass, and then there's the one that kills big, trees or plants with foliage.
So you mentioned that you could tell pretty easily the areas that had been sprayed, both during, because it was wet, and then a month later. What was it like a month later?
It was sagging, like the jungle was coming down. A month later, the jungle was coming down. 2 months later, it was all laying on the ground. So it was effective, very effective.